So today I want to cover how to optimize Google My Businesses, or in this case it's actually changed and it's now Google Business Profile Manager. Before I teach you anything else though, Google My Business, they offer a free website, even if you already have one, right? Even if you already have one, get this one as well. It's a very authoritative site, not this particular one. This URL in itself has no authority, there's a trick to it, but you will get a very powerful link. If you index it, you will get a lot of link juice. It's just a quick tip, a really quick win. And this in particular is a testing GMB, and the reason why is I want to show you what's wrong with it and how you can actually start improving it. Of course, it's just a made up address. And the first reason why this particular one isn't working is because it lacks a lot of stuff. But the main thing is there's the keyword and the city, right? If your keyword is not in your business name, you don't want to do that in your Google My Business either. It's often used by SEOs in this case, people like me who start lead generation businesses. Lead generation is a business model that works quite well. It's basically you rank Google My Businesses and websites and sell the actual leads, and that works quite great, just not my thing. But a lot of people, they exploit the game and put the keyword and city in there. I did the same thing for practice purpose, of course, and of course I want to test how effective it would be with the current update, the vicinity update, which targets businesses like this. You don't want to do that. It's far more sustainable and long term to actually focus on creating businesses or Google My Business profiles that are bound to your brand. It's far better to build an actual brand. You want to set up your categories, but you also want to put any side category that you can think of that benefits you. You want to make sure your service areas are set up. Why? You want to put every service area that you can target in there. Why? Because proximity matters, and with the latest update it actually matters more. Now of course your hours, same thing. This is all the basic stuff, right? You want to make sure that all the essentials are set up. Now of course here what you can do with your website is, if you have a new business, if you have a new Google My Business and you are currently not ranking well, you can just use a Yelp profile or a YouTube link and put it here. Of course you have to change it afterwards, but it's a really easy way to actually benefit from the authority of the Yelp profile or the YouTube profile. But that's just a tip, of course. That's more of an advanced tip. I don't know why I actually share that. You want to make sure that your phone number is accurate and is mentioned on your website as well. You want to make sure that your address, same thing, unless you hide your address, which in most bounce house rental companies is actually the most effective thing to do for the sake of targeting a bigger area, and don't and quit actually tying yourself down to a specific location, right? You want to target all the areas you want to target and kind of, well, manipulate the proximity a bit, let me put it that way. Here you want to mention all your services. Try to put a keyword in there. If you can't, you can always put it as label. Let me show you. For example, I would do tree trimming services in Sugarland, TX, which Texas of course. Of course I'm not gonna do it because I'm no longer using this, but you get the idea. Description, same thing. You want to use as much words as possible to be as elaborate about your business as possible. Of course you want to add photos and a lot of videos in general, but that's all the basic setup in general. That needs to be set up properly anyway. And there's reviews. Reviews really matter if they are used in the correct way. If not, they will matter very little, but they will still matter, right? They won't put you above everybody, meaning business with 100 reviews can outrank somebody with 1000 reviews, because there are people like me who are able to put any review there if we really would want to, and put the keyword in there to also have that count as a ranking signal. Now then there's pictures. You want to cover every picture possible, and you want to make sure that you watermark every picture, because Google can actually read pictures. That's really important. Videos, same thing. It's actually always a good thing to have some video documentation of your actual business, of you walking in the business and leaving the business, showing a sign of your business at a certain location and proving the address of it. Why? Because Google will, at some point, they might just suspend your business without you knowing, and it's actually a proven fact that videos become more important for Google in their verification process anyway, so that's always a good thing to have. And then there is posts. You want to post 5 times a day, and the best way to actually do this is you go home, you find view on maps. You see this bit, CID, this is your CID URL. As you see, it already moved, right? Now let me teach you something really cool. You go to share, embed a map, and you look for view larger map. You right click it and copy link address. If we now look at here, this is our link, we will see a certain thing. It's the CID. CID is basically your Google My Business, right? The other URLs here, if you would copy this URL, you're not really targeting your CID, you're targeting a Google My Business URL that is redirected with a temporary redirect, or as we know it, a 302 redirect. CID URL is super important, and that's not the only thing why we need this. If we look here, these are the coordinates. We can change these coordinates by using stuff such as localviking.com. They can generate geogrids, and we can gather locations or coordinates. If you don't have that, you can just right click and just check it out, and you can right click and thus change the coordinates with the ones here. And if you then head back to posts, then we will actually have to make a post. Best is that you take a learn more button for most posts, because people actually don't look at posts that much, and even if they do, it doesn't really matter, and you put that in the link for your button. You can also use a shortener. I don't like to do that. Don't put your phone number in there in your post, because it will be counted as phone number stuffing. You want to avoid that. Put the same link in there as well. Put a nice picture in there and publish. And if you do that 5 times a week and you keep expanding your actual coordinates, you will expand your proximity as well, allowing you to rank quicker. You can also use this particular link to build backlinks towards it, making it even better. And then you put a YouTube silo, which I will cover in a different video, to boost it as well. If you do all this correctly and you avoid the mistakes this particular Google My Business has, you will be ranking in no time and outranking most people. Except me or my clients, of course, but then that's a given.